Hello everyone, I'm Alejandro Quesada, and for my project I choose a planned lesson applying the constructivist theories of learning, which we're explaining in the chapter 8 of the book. In my lesson, we learn the use of definite articles in Spanish. The audience will be the 9th grade from Spanish class, and the materials will be that we will need will be all Latin newspapers and magazines in Spanish, paper, glue, and scissors. I choose the core standard CMP7 ML2. It recognizes similarities and difference in grammar and language structure when the student will explain it between the target language and the student's primary language. The objectives of the lesson is the students will recognize by themselves the grammar rules for definite articles in Spanish. They will understand the use of definite articles in Spanish language, the rules and exceptions. Students will discuss the difference between the definite articles in Spanish versus the articles in English. For the instruction, I will start with explain to the students the use of articles in Spanish is different than the use of articles in English. Remember, in the Spanish language, the Spanish nouns don't like to be alone. And after that, I want to explain what are such definite articles in Spanish grammar. La, el, las, and los. After they have clear these 4 words, I'm going to start with the activities. All my lesson will be based in the sense of constructivist theories, because the idea is that learners must individually discover and transform complex information if they are make it in their own. So I'm trying to let the students work in groups or alone to can discover by themselves the rules of the grammar Spanish. This lesson is a mix of different methods of constructivist theories and cooperative learning. I didn't choose a special method, so I tried to mix some of the activities or the methods explained in the chapter and make it a mix of some of them and put it together in a lesson. We can see these theories mostly in grouping and activities. For grouping, we're going to use the student team's achievement division. For activities, we're going to use peers interaction, problem solving, and mediated or scaffolding. So I don't have so much time. I'm going to explain pretty fast the grouping and activities. At the end, I want to explain what is the relationship between the activities and the constructivist theories. For student groupings, I will choose groups of 4 members. Each group will divide based in the student teams or achievement division. What is that? This is a cooperative learning method. The groups are mixed in performance level, gender, and ethnicity. The teacher presents a lesson, and then the students work with their teams to make sure that all team members have mastered the lesson. Finally, all the students take individual quizzes on the material, at which time they may not help each other. The activities. I will instruct about the team's objective, and which is that every group will research 50 words or nouns with articles in the materials that I will provide. The students are going to research on the magazine and newspapers, notes, and articles. They are going to code it and put together in a paper. After they have all the 50 words together, each group will figure out what are the grammar rules for definite articles in Spanish, comparing every noun with the article. Something like this. And at the end, everything will discuss and tell me what the ideas they conclude about the grammar rule. For independent practice, every student must tell me 3 examples of articles and words. And for the closer activity, I will explain the grammar rules for articles, mixing the team's results and explaining the exception for the rules. This will be my closer feedback or scaffolding. Okay, the relationship between this lesson and the constructivist theory approach will be, we can see some facts about problem solving or ideal, because in that lesson the students will identify problems and opportunities. They have a definite goal and represent the problem. They have to explore possible strategies and anticipate outcomes, and then they look back and learn. This activity involves peer interaction and cooperative learning. Why? Because they work as a discovery group. They have to help each other, and they have discussion groups to conclude the rule. Also, they have mediated learning or scaffolding, who is the teacher or is me. Why? Because following the Vygotsky idea, students should be given complex, difficult, realistic tasks, and then giving help to achieve these tasks. In this case, we can see that the activities are not very difficult, are not very easy, and I know they can do it. Also, they will be my help. For the assessment, every student will be evaluated with an exit ticket, in which I will put 10 words where they have to write the article of the word. After that, they have to a little free time after I write the exit ticket. Actually, the assessment has a lot of some important points about constructivist theories. Why? Because many studies have found positive the use of cooperative learning with 2 conditions. Some kind of recognition or a small reward, in this case will be the free time, and individual accountability. That is the reason because I choose exit tickets to mix it, the reward with the assessment. The most important thing about this lesson and the use of cooperative learning theories is that I would like to promote the critical thinking. Why? Because the critical thinking is a very good skill that not only in Spanish or another language or another subject, critical thinking is so important for the students in the real life. And as a teacher, is something that I really like it, and I really would like to promote. This is the sources, and thank you for your attention.